Modern filmmakers don't really seem to understand why people like movies, right? They don't seem to understand what made movies good and why people wanted to watch these particular movies in the first place. And so this continual trend of sequels just to play in the sandbox of the universe that the movie has established has become a kind of trite ritual that Hollywood does. Oh, by the way, here's another Alien movie. Why do I care? I know literally everything there is to know about the alien life form and have seen every interesting iteration of that life form interacting with humans. You've been doing this for 45 years now, right? And I know that because Alien came out in the same year I was born. There is just nothing new to tell me about this story, and you don't know what you're doing with it. And so I haven't even watched Alien Romulus. I watched a bunch of reviews of it, and people were like, well, it's very mid. It's basically kind of a retelling of Alien and Aliens. And I'm like, okay, but I've seen both of those. There was a Spartan who was approached by some guy in ancient Greece, and he was like, oh, have you heard about, Xanthippus over there? He can perfectly imitate the nightingale. And the Spartan just replied, but I've heard the nightingale itself. Why would I want to watch your pale imitations of much better movies when it's made by people who just have no artistic talent? That's all I can say it boils down to. And it's not that they don't have technical talent. I appreciate that as a technical achievement, these films are going to be good. But as a storytelling and artistic, aesthetic achievement, why would I care? What am I doing here? Like, what would I want to watch your film for? And so they've got a new one now. Oh, Alien Earth. Oh, yeah? The aliens going to land on Earth and kill a bunch of people, set up a hive city, and then the humans will have to destroy them. Great. Why? I mean, don't know, that actually might be interesting, but what's the point? And the thing is, I used to collect the Alien comics, and this was a storyline that was in the Alien comics. But I don't. I maybe they'll use that storyline, maybe they won't. But that storyline had a purpose, right? It wasn't just, ooh, spooky aliens get to Earth and kill a bunch of people, right? The purpose of it was to demonstrate the hubris of the man who was involved, because what he had done, aliens had taken over Earth, and what he had done is like bioengineered some aliens, so they had like numbers on their faces, and he was going to use them as an army of his own aliens to take over the Earth. And this was massively hubristic, because of course when they arrived, the aliens just defected and killed him. And this didn't work. So is that going to be the story? It doesn't look like that's going to be the story. The point, though, is what that's telling me is about something about the human condition, right? Don't trust a bunch of weird aliens that you think you have under control, because it might turn out that you don't. And these things that are highly dangerous could come and kill you. So, I mean, like, what was the original Alien about? Right? What was the point of the original Alien story? It wasn't just about Ripley and the crew getting murdered by an evil space beast and then for her to blow it out of the airlock. Right? That's not what the theme of the original Alien is. That's not why it resonated, because you could have had anything, right? The thing that resonated was that it was a warning about the Faustian spirit to go and conquer the unknown and go and explore the deepest, darkest reaches of space. Well, you actually don't know what's out there. And what's out there could be something that violates your psyche in ways that you didn't even think were possible. And it will turn into a living nightmare where everyone you'll know will die and you'll just survive it, barely. And this is what the deepest, darkest reaches of space have. So be warned that you are entering into the unknown and playing with forces of which you are not in control. And so let's talk about the next Jurassic Park movie. Why are they making another Jurassic Park movie? Well, the prosaic answer is, of course, teenagers and like 10-year-olds want to go to the cinema and see big dinosaurs. That's why I had to take my kids to the last Jurassic Park movie, or Jurassic World movie. And it was terrible. Like, it was really boring hearing about locusts and like dinosaurs in like somewhere in Switzerland or some stupid nonsense. It was really boring. And it was just member berries. And all of these films are totally guilty of this. Like in this, there's someone who apparently says, "Get away from her, you bitch." It's like, oh God. Just playing in the sandbox. right? Like a bunch of children, like completely unaware. I'm going to build myself a castle. Oh, yeah, because you've seen one previously, right? You're not going to build something new. Same with this. Oh, we're going to get all of the previous Jurassic World. We're going to get all of the old cast together and have more meet. Well, actually, a bunch of these people didn't know each other in the previous films. So there's actually no great emotional payoff there. And it was just, ooh, aren't they all like faces you know? And then to make the Giganotosaurus like the villain, it's like, but it didn't really do anything. It didn't really do anything other than just be a big meat-eating dinosaur. Like, it wasn't like a terrifying villain in the same way the Velociraptors were. And so, the previous one before that, where it's like at the mansion and it's the new John Hammond, it's like, you don't know what you're doing with this, do you? You don't know why you're making this film, other than you know that it will make money because of the member berries that come out of people's wallets, right? And so the question is, okay, well, if you're going to make a Jurassic Park film, or in the theme of Jurassic Park, what story are you trying to tell? And so the best thing to do is, okay, well, let's go back to Michael Crichton's original Jurassic Park books, which I bought when the film first came out. And I read repeatedly. I love these books, right? And again, much in the same vein as Alien, there's a critique of human hubris, a critique of the kind of Faustian spirit to conquer nature, to conquer the universe, to conquer all of these things, to meddle with forces that we are not actually in control of, and find it blow up in our faces and basically murder us, right? This is the point of Jurassic Park. Originally, the original theme was man's belief in the control of nature through science that he thought he had, and actually turns out he doesn't have. Right? Nature is actually far more complicated than we understand. Oh, we just use frog DNA. Well, it turns out that they can change genders or sexes now, and so now they're breeding, and now they've taken over the park, and now we're getting hunted by velociraptors, super intelligent, evil killing machines. Right? This is a moral lesson that is included in the film, and it teaches us about ourselves. It informs our decision making going forward in real life. You go, okay, I think I know about that, but are there known unknowns here? And if there are known unknowns, maybe I should be more perspicuous about this. Maybe I need to be careful, which is what they weren't in Jurassic Park. So I've got the example of why, in my mind, a theoretical example of why I shouldn't just charge in like a bull in a china shop. And so I don't want Ian Malcolm going, well, you were too busy worrying about whether you could, think about whether you should. It's like, yeah, no, good point. That's actually a really good point. And that's something that with science, with technology, we actually should be worried about. We really should think about that, because there are lots of things that we do that maybe we shouldn't be doing, and maybe we're reaping the harvest of that now. So there's a moral lesson, there's an overarching theme, an ethos, a point to the Jurassic Park film. There is a point to Alien. It's not just a bunch of idiot people get massacred for no reason and isn't that scary. Yeah, okay, whatever. And again, it's the same with Jurassic World as it is with the Alien. We know everything about the dinosaurs. Like, we've seen a million hours of T-Rexes now, okay? Like, we've seen all the velociraptors. We know exactly what they are. We know exactly what their strengths and weaknesses are. We know exactly what they do. There's nothing you can do to expand the canon, because you've either got this point where you've like, look, I'm going to explain a moral principle to you, or I'm going to expand the canon of a world in which this moral principle is playing out. Well, they're not going to do anything interesting to expand the canon of Alien, right? I mean, Ridley Scott has tried this with Prometheus and Covenant, and to be honest with you, I quite liked those, right? They weren't perfect, and they definitely screwed with the law, obviously, but at least there was something that was being explored there. Like, okay, what does it mean to be the god of another life form, to be the author of another life form? What does that mean? Now, Ridley Scott didn't explore it very well, but at least he was trying something. It's very much like George Lucas with the Star Wars prequels. Well, at least he expanded the canon and created and made the universe bigger and tried to connect other bits to it. Again, he didn't do it very well, but at least he did something. But what are you going to do in this? Apparently, in fact, it's just, dinosaurs have trouble surviving on Earth in the modern day, and so they're going to try and get DNA samples from a few of the dinosaurs in order to preserve them or something. And it's like, I don't care. That doesn't interest me. That's not going to grip anyone in the same way that the original Jurassic Park gripped everyone. It's not interesting. It doesn't matter whether or not you do manage to save these dinosaurs from going extinct again, because I know you can just create dinosaurs. Like, you've already done it. That's how these dinosaurs ended up where they are. So, okay, well, these ones died. We'll just create some new ones then. Put them back in the bloody park. You know, like, this is not interesting. This is not telling me anything piercing about the nature of what it is to be a human. Whereas the original Alien, the original Jurassic Park, did do that, which is why they are classics that everyone loves to this day. The point that I'm making is that the people who make these don't know why they're making these. They don't know what to do with them. They themselves are not artists. They're technicians. And so they're sat there going, okay, we need screenwriters to write a play. Well, what are you saying? And you don't know, right? Because the people who are making these things don't have any piercing insights into the human condition. So why would I need to watch their movies?